Hey everybody, we are starting a new quarter. We are talking about calling. That word, you hear it all the time. We're talking about the word calling. And the lesson this week is called to be heir. Called to be heir. And we're looking at the genealogy of Jesus, both the human genealogy and also the divine genealogy. But here we go. The lesson focus this week is listen to him, heir of all things. Listen to him, heir of all things. And I'm not going to bore you with the introduction, but I'm going to jump right on in Matthew chapter 1. Our outline this week is Matthew chapter 1 and Hebrews chapter 1. And in Matthew chapter 1, I'm going to point out a couple things that I think is so very important when you think about calling, when you think about heirship and things of that nature. So here we are. It says the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren, and Judas begat Phares, and Tamar of Tamar, and Phares begat Ezram. And as you read through all of this, it ends with verse 16, and it says Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. And I think it's so interesting that we should know that there's a lot of baggage here. Jesus came carrying bags, right? We're talking about prostitution. We're talking about rape in some cases. We're talking about there's a lot of scandal with Mary. God, how did she get pregnant? How you just show up pregnant? Ain't nobody just pregnant by God. That's new. So all of this baggage came, and there was a lot of drama. And you would think that God would send his son through like this perfect family line. But guess what? We wouldn't be able to relate to that. We wouldn't be able to relate to that. So what truth do I want you to remember about this first outline here? Everybody has bags. Like literally everybody has bags. Everybody has something broken. Everybody has something that they're not proud of. Everybody, notice the word I'm using. Everybody has this. And because everybody has it, God, who wants us to connect to Jesus, who came to us and faced all things like we would, guess what? He had to come carrying bags just like we do. And everybody has. And it's so easy sometimes to discredit or discourage someone or dismiss someone because they carry bags. But I'm telling you, resist the urge, because when you see somebody with issues, you know what? Wow, your family just like Jesus' family. Think about that. Think about that. When you see a family with issues, be like, wow, your family is just like Jesus' family. They had scandal in their family too. Wow. Well, you fit right in here in our church because everybody has bags. But then the transition happens. The transition happens when you go to Hebrews chapter 1. And look what it says in Hebrews chapter 1, because it switches. It switches. Here we go. It says, God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophet, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things. So the question I would want you to ask at this point is, when was he appointed heir? Well, it tells us right there, by whom also he made the world. Before he made the worlds, think about this. Before he made the worlds, Jesus was already appointed heir. Why is that important? I want you to really get this. I want you to really get this, because that goes back to, remember what this quarter is about. It's about calling. Think about this. Jesus was appointed heir before he died on the cross. Jesus was appointed heir when he came through generations of baggage. Jesus was already appointed heir. Now, why is that important for us? Because it don't matter how many bags anybody carries. Guess what? Everybody has a calling. Everybody has a purpose. One thing that I've learned to always say is, if you have breath, you still have purpose. Think about that. If you have breath, you still have purpose. Everybody has a calling. Everybody has a calling. Think about what he told. When I read this in Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2, I thought about Jeremiah when he says, I knew thee in your mother's womb, and I'd already ordained you to be a prophet, right? Like not before you went to theology school, not when you got, and told everybody this is what you believe God is telling you. No, it said while you were in the womb, before you proved anything. Before you realize the bags you were carrying because of bad decision, because of bad circumstances, because of bad anything, I had already called you. And here we are the same way. We are the same way. Everybody has a calling. Everybody has a calling. Now it starts with, everybody has bags. Everybody has a calling. And if you have a calling, guess what? We just got to allow God to work it out. Philippians 1 says, that he's going to complete the work that he starts in us. So I want you to be mindful. Don't discourage people when you see their bags. Because remember, see their calling more than you see their bags. That's what I want you to get from this lesson. See their calling more than you see their bags. And in the example of Jesus, I have to end with this because I think it's a perfect painting of how God does wonderful things. He came carrying bags and leaves carrying the cross. He came through sin, but came leaving salvation. And that's all you need to know. He came through sin. A sinful family, I'm saying, came through a sinful family and left creating the perfect family of God because of his sacrifice on the cross. Remember, everybody has bags, but more importantly, everybody has a purpose. If they have breath, they have purpose. Keep studying your Sunday school lesson. Keep supporting your church. See you next week. I have a special guest next week. Take care.